Good morning. Today I wanted to share something. I have been making 30 days of art and I've been doing words of hope, inspirational words in this little book. And I'm getting ready to this is my last day, I think it might be anyway, and pray was my word. And I'm going to put it in my Bible. I'm going to show you what I'm using as my tools. And my Bible is a journaling Bible, an ESV Bible. I use watercolor in it. Tons. It holds up beautifully. It is verse James 5:16. Okay. James 5:16. Pray for one another that you may be healed. I think that's pretty appropriate for what's going on in the world today. So, I am going to start with my tools. I have a very fine brush. This is a 10-aught, but look at how tiny that tip is. You need something really, really small. These are Dynasty brushes. They're working great for all of this. Dynasty Black Gold. This is an 8 round, and it comes to a nice little point. See that little point right there? Then I have a Micron 05. It's waterproof, and you can get it wet. It doesn't budge. I love it. I do tons of lettering with it. This is just a regular pencil. I never use a lot of pressure. I always keep it nice and light because my goal is not to really see the pencil lines. And this is a zig writer, and that's going to help with the center dots. So first, I am going to write pray, and I'm going to do it very lightly. And I'm going to start long. Come and do my P. And it's going to be a little, like as I say, longer because you want to stretch out your word. And it also helps when you're painting it. I'm coming up to give a little bit of a stem. So I've got a little bit of a stem on my P here and the Y up there. So I have some green down here. I'm going to put on this little brush. I'm going to have to refill quite a bit. And I'm going to stay up on the barest tip of the brush. I'm up on the tip. And when I'm coming down, I'm going to apply pressure. Try and do this so you can see. So I'm pressing, lifting, scooping around, press, lift, come up. So it's not one smooth movement. Especially I'm going to try and get that little loop in there, so I just touch into it. The trick is pressing, coming down to make it all look like you're doing some form of calligraphy. I was given my Bible by my son. It's been 5 years this Easter. I absolutely love my journaling Bible. It's an ESV single column by Crossway. There are so many out there now. At the time there weren't, and mine is just perfect. So there I've got the lettering part done. And then I'm going to, with my 8 round, I'm going to make a couple of leaves. So I'm just these are just super loose. Everything I do is super loose. And I've just touched in. So if you notice, I kind of laid on the brush. I was not up on the tip doing that. That was not my goal at the time. And then now I am going to start with, and see here how you could see through the lettering? I like that with watercolor. But I have lots of water on here, even though this is my Bible. It will dry, it will be great. There won't be, not harming it. So I dropped in my first color of the pink, and now I have sort of a violet-y kind of color. And I am just touching, and it's going to bleed out. It's going to create its own little something or other. And truthfully, this on watercolor paper, it would do a little more so, but that's okay. So if you're not crazy about a little section of it, maybe that didn't come out the way you want, I just tear off a little piece. And so that's a lot of water. It's really puddled in there, which I like the dark color, but it's a ton of water. See, I just fiddle. And I'm going to add more color, but I just didn't want it to be a huge puddle. So I'm coming back to that color, dropping in. Just want to deepen my center a little bit. So again, I want to deepen a tiny bit more, although it's looking pretty good, I think. But I'm going to put some red, I think. Just a little bit. So if I come here in the watercolor tin and I just keep staying in that same spot, I'm getting color. It's not a ton of water on here. So I have quite a bit of color, I believe. And again, I'm just deepening a tiny bit. All right. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and then I'm going to come back with my my micron, and I am going to ink it, but it has to be totally dry. The best way to destroy your marker is to go into it wet. So I will be right back. I wanted to share something else that I like to do. With yellow, I generally, whatever verse I am highlighting, I like to come across. And it's kind of like using a highlighter, right? But I use my watercolor in yellow. There we go. Okay. I think I might be dry enough, I hope. So again, I had said that I use my marker. I am very loose. I do not try to outline harshly, because then it's going to look if I came here and pulled around. And no, I'm doing a quick little stem and just giving a little bit of motion. I'm going to give it a little stem, a little bit of motion. Oops. There we go. Okay, so I start in the center and I pull down. And I try and keep the shape going. And so at the bottom it's coming straight down. And the right and left, right, there's a little slight curve. We have a shadow there, I'm sorry. So I've done it one time. I like to do it at least twice. I am not worried about making the exact same shape. Right? It just adds a little bit more to it, I think. And in the bottom section here, I am pulling out, making it a little darker down this way. Then with my Zig Writer, it has two ends on it. This is the fatter end. And I come and I just give little black dots. So I almost forgot. I like to add a little bit of splatter. So I use this. It's called a comb brush or a rake brush, and see there's little teeth in it. If you have a fan brush, it could even just be the same round brush that you used before. But I tap. I'm holding something here, and I'm close to what I'm splattering. If I were to do it up high, it would just be one big old mess. Or it'd be everywhere, and I'm trying to control where it goes. And as you can see, you don't have any control. Like life, right? Only God is in control. There we go. So I think I like it.